Hey guys, Ari here from the fatlossmanifesto.com and welcome to video number 3 on where to begin when it comes to altering your physique. In this video, we're going to be looking at your TEA, that's your thermal effect of activity. In our previous video, we looked at the resting energy expenditure. If you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch that video first and download the worksheet. Fill it out because we're going to need it to complete this video. So the thermal effect of activity is pretty much the amount of energy expenditure that is created through movement that you make. Any kind of movement raises the thermal effect of your body. So shivering is probably the lowest level. So when you shiver, when you're cold, you actually burn up calories, you burn up energy to generate heat. And that's the thermal effect of activity, the generation of heat. So energy can increase approximately 15 to 30% on average. And starting at the lower level at 15% is generally someone who is sedentary. Now, a sedentary person is someone who has a very low level of activity in their day. Someone who sits at a desk job, who doesn't work out. Pretty much it's any level of activity that you do that you can comfortably talk while you're doing it. You can sing. Singing is a great way to gauge a level of activity because it takes a bit of lung work to keep that going. And you generally don't break a sweat. So a sedentary level of activity will probably raise your metabolic rate by 15%. A moderate level of activity, however, includes working out approximately an hour a day. So if you go to the gym for an hour a day, whether that's you're doing a bit of cardio or a bit of weight training, that falls under moderate level activity. Now that can also include your work. Someone who has a bit of physical work involved with their daily job, a delivery person or something like that, they fall under a moderate level of activity. Their metabolic rate can raise anywhere between 30% to 50%. Now, someone who has a heavy level of activity, pretty much a bricklayer, a builder, anyone who does a very highly physically demanding job, someone who works out probably 2 to 3 times a day, say a professional athlete has a very high level of activity, their metabolic rate can raise anywhere between 50 and 100%. So that's doubling the amount of calories from their resting energy expenditure. Someone at a moderate level of activity will probably break a sweat after 10 minutes, and someone at a very heavy or high level of activity breaks a sweat within 2 minutes. At a high level of activity, you can't really talk, forget about singing. At a moderate level, you can just barely hold a conversation. So you can use that as a gauge for how hard you're working. Most people fall in the middle. Most people fall under the moderate level of activity on average. We're going to be calculating different levels of activity and different effects that your TEA has for different days. So on your rest days, we're going to calculate the amount of calories you need for your rest day, and we're going to calculate the amount of calories we need for your moderate working days or your heavy working days. So click the link below. As usual, download the cheat sheet. We'll have a 7-day planner there that you can calculate for every day of the week how many calories you're going to need. Once again, thank you again for watching the video, and I'll catch you in the next video.